Hello, everybody. I'm Oliver, and this is still Against All Odds, Chaotic Bibliophile. Hi, hello, hi. I am back. Not by popular demand necessarily, but by mental health demand, maybe. I don't know. This year, I've been considering whether I wanted to keep doing booktube. I mean, I never really stopped. I never officially stopped. But because this year I feel is the most inactive I've been in a long time, I really wondered whether I wanted to keep at it. And the answer was yes. I like yapping about books, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Ooh, if I record here, I'm seriously like working out my hamstring. Anyways, as you can see, I have a new background, more on that later. I also have a mirror behind me, so I will try and cover it. I'm just trying things out. I'm also trying the mic out, so we'll see. But let's just dive right into the video because I feel like that will explain loads and I can give you a little bit of an update later. This video, we're looking back at 2025 and looking forward to 2026. You might wonder why, if he rarely remembers what even his goals were, does he keep doing this? But actually, this year, I did really good. And I think the key to that was flexibility. I was really flexible with my goals and changed them as needed, but I realized I really like ticking boxes and I really liked doing my spreadsheets, so that was really helpful. I have a little notebook here. Okay, if I let go of the mic, is that okay? We shall see. We'll find out. My first goal was spreadsheet, and I will make a video where I go through my story graph and spreadsheet stats and sort of it'll be a time, but I think that will happen more towards Feb. I adapted, for example, at first I started putting every single book that I started because I wanted to multi-read less, but then that's just stressed me out. That just stressed me out, so I stopped doing it. Sometimes it's nice to be able to say, oh, I'm going to read a few poems of this book. I don't have to start this book. I'm going to read a few stories in this collection or in this anthology or this review. But it was really good. My main things that I kept track of were read, DNF'd, and all acquired books. All of them, considering all the books that I was gifted or that I got for free. So any book that I sort of consider my own now went into that list. And I was pleased to do it. I was less pleased by the fact that the books that I got to, not from that list necessarily, but the books that I got to either by audiobook or borrowed or whatever were less than that. So next year, I definitely would like more of a balance. I feel like when free books start coming into the equation, so stuff that people give you or traveling goes into the equation and you start visiting new bookshops. But there were also lots of books that are not from there. Anyways, so I said I will show it off in a future video. We'll talk about it later, I guess. The second thing that I did was story graph lists. And so I did two main challenges, which is my big book challenge and the what's the other one? 12 books to read in 2025. Now that was an interesting one because I was very excited about all the books that I chose, but I did change them at points. I always chose books that I had been meaning to read for a while, that I was really excited about. I think I did about 6 of the 12, and then there were others where I really was like, I've lost interest. So I'm not doing that again this year. I think I like doing my own little lists of things, but I think making it a real challenge, it just doesn't work for me. I am too much of a mood reader for that, and I don't want to force myself to read books because then you encounter the book as a confrontation instead of as the joy that it should be. So yeah, that didn't work out that well, but I did finish it, which is important. And then I did finish my big book challenge, which I was so pleased with. Basically, it's just prioritizing books that were 500 pages or more, or books that could be thin or could even be quick reads or like coffee table books with lots of pictures and little text, but then that I never sat down to read because you needed to sit down to read them because you can't carry them, you can't like hold them in bed, you just need sort of a setup, and I wasn't prioritizing them. Even though I am a person who likes reading coffee table books and I am a person who loves reading big graphic novels and all of those things, and I thought I wouldn't finish it. But I finished it. I literally finished it yesterday. I was so pleased. I did all 15. And then I also joined Amelia Reed's Just Some Random Prompts, which I did finish. I do feel like the last two I sort of stretched a bit, maybe, because I had some books that I wanted to read that were perfect for that prompt, and then I didn't get... Did I say prompt? I didn't get to them, and now I'm in the UK. More on that later. I just had to make things work, and I didn't want to like buy more books, but again, I think it was okay. I think it's a reasonable fit. But I did really enjoy it, and I recommend. Amelia always comes up with great prompts and great challenges, so if you're interested in that kind of thing, give her a follow on Storygraph. I don't know if it shows you. I mean, she told me about it, but I don't know if you follow someone on Storygraph and then they create a challenge, if it will show you that, maybe? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below whether that's the case. And that was it. Those were literally all of my goals that I can remember, at least in 2025. I think I remember saying that I knew it was going to be a weird, unpredictable year, and I didn't know whether I was going to be able to do anything really. Again, I'll get to that a little bit later. But yes, I knew it was going to be a weird year, so I think I purposefully led with let's see what happens with my reading, and it went well. I think generally it was solid. I think I was picking things that I really loved and was interested in. I read a lot in Spanish, which was awesome. Some of my favorite books this year are only in Spanish. And then quantity wise, basically what I did was put the number of the challenges, how can I put this? The number of books that I would need to complete the challenges plus 5, but then as I kept going and I read books and I surpassed the number of books, but I hadn't finished the challenges, I added more books, if that makes sense. I edited the number, so I ended up with 100 books to be read, and then I surpassed that when I finished the challenges, if that makes sense. So I will do the same next year. I'll explain what I mean in a second. So 2026, we are carrying on with the flexibility. That's very important. We are keeping the spreadsheets. I think I'm keeping the same thing. I think the only thing that I'd like to track maybe is country of origin of the book, which can be a bit complicated. I think especially because I read a lot of literature by immigrants or children of immigrants, it feels a bit weird to say, oh, I'm reading this British author, but it's set in India and it's about India or Japan, or you know what I mean? But we'll see. It is a muddy category. Everything else I think I'll keep as the same. And again, I'll do a little spreadsheet tour soon-ish with the graphs and story graphs, and I hope you like it because that's my favorite content to consume, or one of them anyway. So I hope people are excited. 2 more flexible storygraph challenges. So unlike this year, in which I knew I couldn't read that much or that voraciously, I know that next year I'm going to be able to, because my life right now is kind of what it will be next year as well. And I have been reading loads in December, so that's how I operate. But even then, the numbers are not that crazy. More, it's like, oh, I want to make sure that I read these types of books that ideally I already own. First of all, I'm doing the January Pages Challenge, which is on the Storygraph. You sign up and you log on an amount of pages that you read every day. And for me, it's like I pick up books throughout the day a lot, but I think as long as you log on once, it's fine. Like I think where I failed last year was, because I tried it last year, was that I was really precious about reflecting accurately the amount of pages that I read. Whereas like if I sit down for 10 minutes and I read 20 pages, I can just put that in, and then if I read more, that's fine. I can put them the next day or not. It doesn't matter. The objective of the challenge is to build up your habit of reading every day, and obviously I do have that, but I think it's fun to participate. I think you win something if you can, like there's a little bit of a giveaway or something, I don't know, but I'll do it. I think it's fun. I've signed up already. Then I have lists, but these are all open-ended lists, so it's a theme, so it's a numbers goal. Read 12 of this, read 5 of that, and I'll link them down below because they're public, so you can join. Number 1 is my big book reading challenge. I am going back to 12. I did 15 this year, which was good. I wanted to prioritize that, but I did think I made it hard on myself. I think 15 is a bit much. I think the challenges are good if, in theory, even if you don't do it like that, in theory, you can do one a month. I think that's what works best. And so by big books, I have 2 categories of that. I don't know why I did that, but it's 2 categories. One is the sitting down book, which might be a book that is not that long even, but it might be awkwardly shaped like a square and you can't really like do that. Or because, okay, for context, I read a lot like on the tube and also lying down. I like lying down when I read. I know a lot of people don't like it because they become sleepy or whatever. I like it. But the point is, a book that you can't really pick up because it's a bit awkwardly shaped or too big, a big hardcover, even if it's thin, You see my point? And that's a sitting down book. And then a chunky book is just 500 pages or more. I have some great candidates already. I'm really, really excited. Number 2 is books I got in 2025. 12 of them. Yeah. And that's a goal for me next year. I want the number of books that I read. I'll even include DNFs because I got to that book. And if it was a book that I previously owned and I DNF it, I'm getting rid of that. So that's fine. I want those numbers to be at least the same. Preferably this one a bit more. And that won't happen this year. That's okay. It looked like it might happen at some point, but then things went awry. That's fine. We move on, and next year it'll happen. I promise. I promise it'll happen. Oh, and this is another thing. I don't want to double up on any challenges. So for example, if one of the books that I got last year is a chunky book and I log it on as a chunky, I can't log it in as the books I got in 2025. I think it's just more to the purpose of these challenges in my personal experience / case. So I want to read 12 modern classics. I love modern classics. You know, they are my bread and butter. Obviously, not all modern classics, etc., etc. But there are loads of authors that I would love to return to. Off the top of my head, James Baldwin, Virginia Woolf, Nabokov. There are so many writers that I want to read more of. Then contemporary classics. And this I'm excited for. Also 12. This is a label that I think gets thrown around. Obviously, people say instant classic, but I do think there is a case to be argued about books that have been published after the 90s, even in the 2000s, even in the 2010s, that are now being taught and that have become classics and will probably remain classic. One of them for me is, for example, The Hunger Games, which is now taught and it's hailed as this example of YA literature, dystopian literature. Marlon James and his Brief History of Seven Killings, Marilyn Robinson's books, White Teeth by Sadie Smith. So many. A lot of publishers are aware of this as well, because if you see like the Granta Great Reads, and they all have this very like nice classic look. Yeah, I think it's a very cool label, and it would also help me enter conversations that I've been wanting to enter, but I haven't been able to because I haven't gotten to these books. And I own so many of them. The next one, I want to read 5 music books. I used to do my favorite music books of the year ranked, or all the music books that I read in a year. And I want to go back to that. I really love music books. And this year, one of the things I did is tidy up my library, my entire library. So all the thousands of books that I own. And I own so many music books. And last year, I really didn't read many of them. I would be surprised if I even read 5. So ideally 5, and then that will kickstart my desire, hopefully, to read more and more of them. And then maybe I can make that video again. Because I really loved making that video, even though it wasn't a very popular one. Even within the very not popular state of my channel, I felt like people didn't care as much. But I care. I like it. So I would love to be able to do it again. Number 5. Why number 5? Then 5. Essay collections. Same thing. I love essay collections. I have tons of them. Don't make enough time to read them because I feel like good essay collections, you really need to go in there with a pen and be ready to interact with it. I really love them. I should go back to it. Poetry collections, 5 of them. Same thing. I buy loads of them, and I do read poetry, I think, reasonably loads. But again, last year, or I guess this year, I'm already in 2026, guys. I didn't do as much, so I would like that. And then last one is 5 short story collections or anthologies. That totals 68 books. If I just read the books of the challenge, that's 68. So I'm gonna set up my Storygraph challenge to 75. The number 3 is I'm doing the BookTube prize again. I didn't talk about it this year, but I did judge one round. This year, for the first time, I judged a fiction round, and it actually worked out really okay. I got to read... Oh, I think I mentioned it when I was doing my clearing out of books. Link down below, and I know I haven't uploaded the companion to that. It'll happen. By the time no one cares, but it'll happen. It'll happen. And this year, there is a flexibility of fiction versus non-fiction, so I would like to hop between them. But yeah, I'm excited. I haven't really kept up with what's been going on in fiction, or non-fiction for that matter, this 2025, so it'll be a good way to catch up. This year, I'll try and do all the rounds. 4, and this is the big one. This is the really big one. I plan to come back to BookTube for real for 2026. I can't speak about after 2026. But what I mean by this is, well, I've started already just watching more of it and leaving comments and trying to comment, which I know we all struggle with it, but I'll try to be sort of a more active member of the community. I've also been using my Bookstagram more, so you can check that down below. I want to try and do a Tuesday reads every week. Now, those are big words, and obviously it sounds crazy considering how little I upload generally, and I've never been consistent in uploading every week. The thing is, I'll tell you my story really quickly. Basically, last time I was posting semi-regularly. I was working in London, I was having a great time, but then visa stuff came up. Basically, my visa was running out and I needed to see if I would get sponsored, but that was really slim chances. I decided to go back to Chile and study, and I was really, really hyped about that. Except I met my fiance last year, my now fiance, and love. It was a timing thing where I was sort of deciding to go back as I was getting to know her more. We stayed together. We did long distance for a while, and there's still some long distance in our future, but after a year, we just decided this is it. We want to be together. We want to do life together. So we're getting married. I will be back in Chile for next year while we do all the visa processing. So next year is going to be weird for me. I won't be studying. I will be working, but first of all, it's part-time, my job right now. And also, it just isn't for my career in the same way. It's a very weird state of things where it's very present, right? You have to be in the moment because you can't really know where you'll be in a year, which is fine. That's what life is. But yeah, that's why I want to record these weekly videos to give a little update. I'm also really curious to see the different backgrounds that will pop up. I just really wanted to serve as a diary of this year that looks like it's going to be quite strange, both in fantastic and also in a little bit daunting ways. Yeah, I think there'll be lots of interesting things, and I would really like a keepsake of this year for my own sake. It's not a strict project. If it doesn't work, that's okay. But we shall see. The reason I didn't do booktube that much this year is because I was preparing to take uni entrance exams again, which I did end up taking. And even though they don't matter for anything now, they are not valid in the UK for any reason. Like, they literally are useless to me now. I still put so much effort into them, and so I hope I did well. That would be nice. I was studying, I was working, and I was also maintaining a long distance relationship and long distance friendships too, but also reconnecting with people in Chile. And that was a whole thing. It has been wonderful. It was also been very strange. I've been writing a newsletter, which just started as a way of sharing my life in Chile with my friends, but I'll keep it up. People seem to enjoy it. So if that for some reason is of interest to you, I will link it down below to the archive so you can see past newsletters, so maybe you'll be interested. If not, obviously, that's all okay. Upcoming videos, which are not promises, but you know, the best of, maybe finally the books that I did bring to Chile, because I did bring a lot of them. And then the stats video, I am really looking forward to that one. Yeah, that's it. I don't really have anything else to say except thank you for watching. Really excited to be back and tell you about books and for you to come on this journey with me. I mean, it'll be mostly books. I'll always start with the books, and the books will be the main focus, but I think at the end of each week I'll give like a little life update. Any and all comments down below, including favorite book of the year, and if you also have a book that was like a big disappointment, which is a bit negative, but I'm always nosy and wanting to know. Okay, that's it. See you next time.